What's up, everybody? We're back. We are so back. Oh, whew, I feel like it's been forever. It's only been a week, but it feels like forever. Whew. So glad to be back. So excited to be back after this, what seemed like a really long break, even though it wasn't that long. But I desperately needed it. It from our 12-hour live show, which was a huge success, but very long, but also just everything leading up to it and a whole lot of other stuff happening in private life, of course, which I'm going to fill you guys in on in a little bit. But yeah, I did definitely needed the break, and it was a lot of work though, but it was totally worth it. Totally worth it, because for those of you who don't know, we surpassed our goal of 100 pounds, 1,000 pounds for the Royal British Legion. Let me try that again. We surpassed our goal of 1,000 pounds for the Royal British Legion for 2025. We raised like 1,241 pounds as of the end of the live stream. I haven't updated it to see if the live stream has actually generated any more money since then, because I just haven't had a chance yet. But that's where we are. We are doing amazing. We've raised over 300 pounds for the live stream alone. It was a huge success in my eyes. I thought that it went really well. It was really long. But I just want to say thank you so much for your contributions, because I thought that this 1,000 pounds was going to be a really lofty goal. I didn't think we were going to hit it, to be honest, because we had trouble raising money last year. But it did pretty good. We did pretty good. It's only September, so geez, September already. But it's only September. We still have 3 more months, so let's see where we can go from here. But it wasn't just about the money. It never is just about the money. It's an amazing cause. And I also just want to say thank you to everybody that participated in it, just showed up and chatted and kept me going throughout the whole thing. Our tagline for this show, for the live show, is "It's only better when you're there." And your presence during that fundraiser totally made that tagline apt to what we do here. It is not 1 second went by where there wasn't somebody in the chat, um, and someone like watching and just sending in questions and comments to keep me going. It was fantastic. Um, I'm so overwhelmed by all the support that you guys give me on this channel and just in general. And I couldn't have asked for a better community to collaborate on this journey with and to do this kind of fundraiser with. You all y'all just slammed it, man. It was fantastic. Long 12 hours of talking. It was very long. I have to give special shout outs to Manny, who was there moderating through most of it, Neil, who did participate in so many different ways and um, put a lot of monetary contributions behind it, including Manny. Disco, obviously, moderating through most of it as well. Didn't really take many breaks either. And special shout out to Kara from Magic Geekdom, who showed up and had a quick convo with me and all that to give me a little bit of a break in the middle. And then also extra special shout out to TJ from TJ's Work in Progress. You guys know and love. Can't say too much nice stuff about her because she'll get offended, but really, really appreciate her showing up at the end because she definitely pushed me through to the finish line. I was struggling a lot, and she really helped me out along with all of you guys asking me questions and keeping me on my toes so that I couldn't think about how tired I really was. It doesn't seem like it's exhausting, but talking for 12 hours is a long time. But I'm so glad I did it. It was really, really fun. Um, and I'm really, really appreciative of you guys just showing up, not just showing up for the money, but because that's obviously it's a really, really amazing thing to be able to surpass our goal, but just showing up in general, as you guys always do. It just really does make life better. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So, since things only get better when you're there, let's see who's here. I know that Diane was here because I saw her. She was an early bird, and Manny was here, of course. So let's see who else joined us so far. Sorry, the sniffles again. My daughter had a cold, and I caught it again. It's better now, though. You guys, thank you so much for your kind words about the stream. Roy Cousins is here. He's been a member. By the way, if you want to be a member, just click that join button below. Thank you very much for being here, Roy. So excited. Marja's here. Yay! Hi, Marja. How are you? Oh, I love that you called it the Mandy-thon. That's hilarious. Oh, the Mandy-thon. That's funny. Neil Morrison is here, another member. Thank you for being here. Richard Wilmot. Woohoo! What's up? So glad to have you guys here. Diane, you're absolutely right. TJ was an enormous help. She really brought that home for all of us. But that's the thing I love is obviously some of the moderators could be there for some of the time, and some of the and they had to take breaks. I mean, nobody really could be there the whole 12 hours, right? I even had to take a couple breaks here and there. But everybody just pulled together. Everybody just pulled together, not just to raise the money, but just pull together to get everybody through it and to keep it going. And that's the best part about this community. Jeez, what did I do? That's the best part about this community. And that was my favorite part, was we were really all just pulling together because you knew how much it meant to me. And that means a lot to me. I'm going to get all emotional now, so let's just move on. John Lilburn is here. Thank you so much for joining us. Sat behind a computer screen all day, which I haven't done for 2 years. Welcome to my world, John. It's pretty much what I do 24 hours a day. Richard asked, how are my grades? I'm not sure I know what you're referring to. I have to think about that one, Richard. I'm not sure I know what you're referring to. Oh, I should have put some wild turkey in my iced tea. Why didn't I think of that? Marja, I'm so jealous. I'd put it in now, but it's really far away. Hi, TJ. How are you? Woohoo. We have a crew. I love it. Lorena's here. Hi, Lorena. You've hyped me up a good couple times. Oh, thank you, Manny. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, there's a new feature that YouTube rolled out. You can hype up videos. So if you're watching your favorite YouTuber and it's a new video, you can send a hype and it kind of just gives an extra special boost to the algorithm saying, hey, this is a really good video. You can only do it if the video is 7 days, but it has been uploaded within 7 days. So if you see it within that 7 days, then you can hype. And the more people that hype, obviously, the more it triggers the algorithm, etc. There's like a leaderboard and stuff, but some of those people get like 1 million hypes. There's no way I'm going to get to that because they have like 1 million subscribers. So, but it always helps. So any little bit that we could do helps. You're very welcome, TJ. Thank you so much for everything. Oh my goodness. I missed something somewhere. I did miss something somewhere. Hold on. I went too far. I've come too far. Marcia, you're right. It was mentally exhausting because I was, being on. Like, think about going to work and being on for 8 hours, right? By the end of the day, you're still exhausted. And I did it for 4 extra hours, and I was trying to entertain everybody and keep everybody else going because that's kind of what we do here. But you all kept me going more often than I kept you going, I'm sure. Richard says, I've known people who could talk for 12 hours. Yeah, I bet. I didn't think I was one of those people, but apparently I am. Oh, thank you so much, Manny. You're so sweet. That's such a lovely comment. I appreciate it. Rodden is here and says he still has his dad's RBL badge from the 40s. Wow. Is there any way that you could take a picture of that and show it to me? I don't want to, air your private life out on or anything for me personally. I'm just curious if it's changed over the years and stuff. But of course, only if you're comfortable, though. You can email me at hicksondiaries@gmail.com. Do I have it in a banner? I don't think I do. I don't. But anyways, if you could please, if you could email me, but again, only if you're comfortable. That is super awesome. I have my father's discharge papers from when he was discharged from the Army. That was really awesome. I still have it now. At least you didn't get stuck in traffic jams like me. My partner was saying that there was heavy traffic on the way home, and I was like, really? My commute's okay. I didn't have a problem. Oh, that is true, Manny. I forgot. You do only get 3 hypes a week, which is stupid. I think you should be able to do it as often as possible. But I only upload a couple days a week anyway, so. Richard said, I heard some nonsense from someone on Kent Council saying that migrants are changing the county. Okay. Yeah. Things change, guys. It's called progress. It's called moving forward. I'm not aiming that at you, Richard. Not at all. I'm aiming it at the person that say that. Obviously, I had a conversation with someone a couple weeks ago about this, about the migrant crisis overall. But they were more, to be honest, their perspective was more of like, hey, you're an immigrant. You did it legally, which that's a whole different discussion, but you did legally. You paid all the money. You did it the way that, most people would want to do it, or you would expect most people to do it. Aren't you upset about this? And I was like, no. I mean, there's a process, right? You have asylum laws, right? There's a process. Do I think that there's a valid argument about people coming in and getting resources that it's difficult for British and other immigrants to get? Absolutely. I mean, that's a discussion to be had, but there's a reason that they're coming here, and that's a compliment. And we should definitely enforce whatever laws are on the books as far as immigration is concerned. But I mean, you were an empire that spanned the entire globe at one point. I mean, how can you be against people coming into the country? I don't know. It's just my perspective. Everyone has their own perspective. Um, anyways, but when people make the argument of things, it changes things. I'm like, duh, things change. Nothing stays the same. It's called life. Yes, that's right, Richard. You have to hype very strategically. So make sure it's only your favorite YouTubers. Marsha says that Unite March seemed to have all sorts of people, and I bet they got the numbers wrong, but things are shifting. Let's see. Yeah, I heard some people had posted about it saying that they, it was a very much a far right rally and we're taking back our country, whatever the hell that means. And then there's other people that were posting it thinking it was actually like a Unite the UK rally and they were trying to rally around immigrants. And the migrants. So I don't really know, to be honest with you, what the story was there, but I heard it was a massive amount of people. So oh, TJ has all her family's medals too. That's so cool. I don't have any of my dad's medals. He had a rough breakup before he met my mom, and she destroyed a lot of the stuff, like his uniform and I think his medals and stuff like that. So 150,000. I heard it was around 100,000, so that doesn't surprise me. Dad won't give him your personnel file. Oh, he's got something to hide. Randy says apparently the reason for the heavy traffic is that a lorry crashed into a bridge near Swanley and it's caused heavy traffic on the M25. Oh, geez, I hope everybody's all right. Marja says it's still a car park or a parking lot, depending on what side of the pond you're on. Because conjuring a place and being conquered isn't the same. Fair enough. What's that old adage? No flag, no country. But it's 21st century. It's a bit different now, right? Richard says that my sister has all my dad's stuff and we have a copy of his army records. It's interesting. It is interesting. I always love all that stuff. Like whenever we go to museums and stuff, I always like the handwritten notes and the like journals that were in the person's hand and stuff. I always think those are really cool. I remember when we were in Philadelphia and we were there's a museum about the American Revolution specifically. As for those of you who don't know, that's where like the Continental Congress originated to actually declare war on Britain and declare their independence and all that kind of stuff. So there's a specific museum called the Revolutionary War Museum, and there was all the founding fathers had like letters in their own hand and things that they had written to each other and to King George and then representatives and stuff, about the cause of the revolution and everything like that. It was really, really cool. I saw something in Washington's hand as well, which was really awesome for an American. They seem to be whining about 7% of immigration. I think it's a little bit bigger than that, John. I think, look, this is my take, and I don't want to get into a political discussion today because there's 1,000 things going on that we could get into all kinds of tangents on. And I try to keep these videos fun and light and stuff for the most part, right? But I think it probably stems a little bit more from a lack of feeling like your needs are met as for British people's needs are met, right? Like from my point of view, which is limited, so take it with a grain of salt, but I feel like if people's needs are met, if people feel comfortable and happy and don't feel like they're losing anything, if they feel taken care of by their government or by, everything that's happening in their country, then they don't care about sharing. most people will want to share, especially if they're feeling like that they have some kind of abundance or that they are not lacking. I think that's human nature for most people. I think the part of the tension is that there's so many British people seeing things get cut, seeing, things falling apart, seeing things privatized, and services being less than what they used to be, and struggling to make ends meet, struggling to buy homes, struggling to put food on the table. And then you have people coming in, whether it's legal or not, the way they're coming in is irrelevant at that point. It's more about there's people coming in that are getting help that they can't get, right? So I've seen this happen in America. It's still happening in America. It's terrible. That's part of the immigrant crisis in America, where it stems from as well. So I see similarities here in the UK. That's my perspective. I'm not well versed on it. But as an immigrant, very few people leave their home if they're comfortable and happy, because there's no reason to change it, right? Unless maybe a better opportunity comes along, but it has to be better, right? There has to be something that you have to strive for. So most people are leaving out of desperation in some way, shape, or form. So I just think that gets lost in the conversation. So as an immigrant, I feel the need to stand up and make sure that is part of the conversation at the very least. And I do think that there is an argument that the resources are being redirected in a way that isn't necessarily fair to residents, right? I mean, just as an example, I don't get any unemployment. I don't get any social services. I don't get any help with my housing or my heating or anything like that as an immigrant. And I did it the right way, for lack of a better way to express it. So I did legally. And I don't get anything with the NHS, but I have to pay double in order to participate in the NHS. So I have a surcharge that I have to pay in order to actually be covered by the NHS. So, I mean, I get it. That's annoying, right? That's terrible. I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I don't need the services necessarily, but it is a question to raise. So that is valid. He was a stretcher bearer. Wow. He kept a notebook of all of the men he picked up. That's amazing. Wow. What an amazing piece of history to have. That's incredible, Rodden. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. Yeah, if you can, I'd love to see it, but obviously only if you're comfortable and you can find a way to do it. Someone asked me about the flag thing too as well. I don't really know. Here's my thing, like, the flag thing is, I come from a land where flags are waved all the time. The American flag's at everything for every event, even outside of businesses, just randomly, like as an everyday occurrence. Plus, people wave their heritage flags in Pride as well, and also lots of flags for marginalized and communities, etc. So America is a flag waving country. So I'm like, I don't care about the flags. It doesn't mean anything to me to see them extra. Like, it's not something extra to me. I think if you're going to quote unity, make sure you're following it up with actual unity and not just like instilling fear that something's being taken away, like your culture or your language or something, just make sure that whatever you're supporting aligns with your values. Because I think sometimes it gets muffled because, there's nothing wrong with, in my eyes, there's nothing wrong with waving either the English flag for England or the Union Jack for Britain, right? For the Commonwealth. So for me, I don't see anything wrong with it. And I think you should be able to wave it proudly and you should be able to, put your flag up in your yard and all that from my point of view. But we think we also have to acknowledge and recognize that it's just a symbol, and we have to make sure the symbol's being used properly and it's not being used to instill, hate or violence or a way of life that the majority doesn't actually want. But it's up to us if we don't want it to change it and take back. Like the right wing in the United States uses the American flag as like a symbol of old school ideologies. And I always thought, okay, whoever's opposed to that, the Liberal Party, who thinks we should be progressive, we should move forward, we should be inclusive, things like that, should take it back and just be like, no, this is what it actually stands for. This is what it actually represents. It's about the conversation more than the symbol. But I understand that people flock to symbols easier. It was organized by football hooligans and serial criminal. Yeah, that probably doesn't bode well then. Oh, Neil has his dad's letters, his medal, and a letter from the king. That's amazing. Again, I think that stuff's so cool. Rodden airing his dirty laundry out. I shouldn't have clicked on that. My apologies, Rodden. Richard, my family's been all over the world with the army, helping ourselves everything. It is the British way. No. Well, I mean, now the American Empire is trying to do that, so I can't say anything. Lorena says some influence. By the way, I just want to put this out there. I read these comments blind. Like I kind of pre-screen them, but that I just want to let you know. So I try to keep conversations respectful, but also I don't have a problem with having opposing views and having an open discussion. So please feel free, to speak your mind. I don't mind. As long as it's not disrespectful and it doesn't instill hate, we can go for it. Some influencers here in the US claimed that London March was attended by 1 million and they were out in force of Charlie Kirk. I'm glad you're not here. I'm sorry. I do feel guilty saying this, Lauren, especially to you, because I know you are in the United States right now, but I am really glad I'm not there too. Like every day for the past, since Trump took his oath for this term, I have been very, very glad that I don't live there. It seems to just keep getting worse by the minute. I've heard so many things. There's so many things happening, guys. Obviously I still keep up with American news and everything. Probably more so than I do British news, which is not good, but because I don't live there. But it's just I have to say it. What happened to Charlie Kirk was tragic. It was horrific. I saw the video. It was like, I don't know, an hour after it happened, before they even knew that he was dead. And when I saw the video, I was like, first of all, he's definitely dead. There's no way he's going to recover from that. Second of all, that was a premeditated, calculated assassination. Charlie Kirk was not someone I agreed with on anything except one topic, which was free speech. His version of what free speech should be differs from mine, but we agree that there should be free speech. And I thought it was the most horrific thing I'd ever seen in a really long time, barring things coming out of Gaza. And he has a young family. And no matter what he says that I disagree with, or anyone else disagrees with, or what he might support, that is not the way to win an argument. That is not the way to make a point. That is not the way to bring somebody down. You bring someone down with words, with conversation, with ideas. You can't just go around shooting people you don't like. Violence isn't the answer. Okay? What was the MLK quote? I wrote it down because I'm doing something else on this. So let me just look it up real quick. Can't find the exact quote easily enough. But there's a quote. Dr. Martin Luther King had a quote that hate doesn't stamp out hate. The only counter to hate is love. You can't be violent and expect your opponents to not be violent, right? Like, it's the same thing. You can't start yelling and screaming at someone and expect someone to not yell and scream at you back. But I think it's very representative of where the country is right now. We're a very violent country. We don't want to listen to each other. We don't want to have an exchange of ideas. We don't want to find the best solutions. We just want to yell and scream at each other. We just want the other person to lose. And that's not how you run a country. And now all of the people in the current administration are jumping on this huge bandwagon of using this horrific event as some kind of catalyst to close down free speech, to shut down anyone that has an opposing opinion or rhetoric, to anyone that wants to challenge the government, challenge the authority, which is your responsibility, especially in a democracy. And the whole American Constitution starts with the freedom of speech. America is a failed state. They're gone already. America, as we used to know it, is gone. It is so violent and so self-destructive right now. I hope you're being safe, Lorena, and anyone else that's out there watching this that's from the United States. I was hoping I was wrong when I was thinking it was going to get this bad. I really, really was hoping. But every day actually gets worse than I thought it was going to be. It's just accelerated so much. So much has happened in 9 months of Trump's term. And JD Vance, this is why I think he's slimy and I don't trust him. JD Vance went on Charlie Kirk's show and started touting that they were going to take away people's money, they were going to take away people's livelihoods, and then they were going to throw them in jail and put them on trial because they opposed what Charlie Kirk stood for. He's a vice president. He's going to be president. He's most likely going to be a president, at least maybe not the next president, but I don't see Donald Trump surviving his entire term, to be honest with you. But not that I think anything should happen to him. I just think he's very ill health. He's very old, that kind of thing. But JD Vance is eventually going to be president of the United States. This is why I fear. Anyway. TJ's got something light for us. Thank you, TJ, for bringing us back to Earth. That's lovely. I know I have someone in my family who worked on the tugboats, and they actually had the honor of towing in one of Her Majesty's at the time's boats, yachts, or I don't know if it was a yacht or maybe something that was part of the Navy, but he scratched it and he was never asked to do it again. So it's kind of along the same lines. You had to do a lot of research to find out what he wanted for. Is that because he never told you? That's a British thing, right? That you just don't talk about that kind of stuff. I'm learning. I haven't. Hi, Maxwell. Thank you for joining. Glad to have you here. I haven't hugged a redwood, but We were literally earlier before the show started just talking about what we have a family vacation coming up, and we were talking about some of the things that we could do that were cost effective, and a road trip up north, maybe. No, it's on the list. I know. I feel for you, Lorena. Listen, if there's anything that I can do to help, please let me know. I'm happy to help any way I can. Manny says, I used to volunteer for the poppy appeal and poppy selling every year in Bromley, the Glade Shopping Mall, for a good few years in the mid 2000s. I enjoyed it. My dad used to sell poppies. He loved it. He did it every year. He loved it. He did it as much as he possibly could. I was thinking of volunteering this year, but with everything that's happening privately, I didn't know schedule-wise if I could, so I didn't wanna commit to something that might have overloaded my schedule. I don't know if you could still volunteer. It might be still or be early enough. You know, I'll look that up and I'll make a community post about it in case there's anyone that wants to and it's still open. Washington's family home is a museum. His family home in Virginia is a museum, and it was pretty cool. We saw that, so it might be interesting to see the British one. Is that right, John? Because but don't do they get free housing? I heard they get free housing. I don't know if that's true or not. Because again, I'm still trying to figure out the reason I don't follow political news is because I'm having trouble finding one that is a little more balanced. I keep getting pop-ups for Great Britain news, which I know it's not. I know that's quite far right. And then I've watched a little bit of like morning shows stuff. That's not too bad, but there's too much fluff in it. Like I just want the news. And BBC is like hit or miss. So from my perspective anyway. Richard said, my father got left behind on Crete and got listed as missing. So when he got back, they asked him what he had been doing. So he had to write a report. Oh. Could you imagine today, in today's world, like someone going missing, like not in like a kidnap, crime way, like just we don't know where they are. Like you can track anybody doing anything nowadays because of the pocket phones, right? So like I was saying that to somebody. I think I was replying to some comments, and I was just like, I don't know why anyone in the UK commits any crimes because there's CCTV cameras everywhere. There's like very little to get away from. And even if you're going to do it in your own home, everything's so close knit. How do you like in today's age, how do you get away with it? How could you? Anyway, I have to hand it to my dad. Up until the last year that he was alive, he couldn't do it because he was pretty much bedridden. But he did it. He was up there, and he did it every single year. He marched as until he couldn't march anymore as well. It was so important to him. So I hear you, Manny. It does take its toll on you though, being out there like that. I remember going out there with the Girl Scouts after an hour. I was like, "Are we done yet? I'm done with this. Can we move on now?" Even as the mom, I'm like, "God, can I just go home and sit in my couch, please?" Yeah, we have orange Mussolini in the UK, Lorena, you're absolutely right. Oh, Marja, that's amazing. I love that. I'd like to get involved in something like that. Now that I have a little more time on my hands, I'm gonna see if I can find some kind of local charity that I can participate in, a couple times a month or something. I'm sorry, Richard, I don't know what the royal signals are, but it sounds like it's pretty prestigious. Oh gosh, Lorena, I'm sorry. Are you of Latin American or Hispanic background? Because I would imagine how I could only imagine how scary that is right now. I mean, it's just scary right now. Really? I didn't know that. I've only ever known it as a Union Jack. Thanks for that, TJ. I don't know what the EDL is. Is it football? John says most of the support for the asylum seekers came from foreign aid budgets, so cost nothing that wasn't already budgeted until they made it illegal. Now it comes from the police and justice budget. Yeah, wasn't there a bunch of laws that were changed when the Tories were still in power about like asylum laws and to try to crack down, and it ended up making it worse because now there's not really a process for them or something along those lines, right? I don't blame you, Manny. It's we're trying to think we want to go back and visit, but it's really difficult and I'm nervous because I just I just don't know, how it's going to be. It's so crazy. Yeah, it was a shocking video. Diane. I mean, I if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I don't have to reiterate it, and I don't want to if you don't want to know. So wow. As an American, I could not imagine being in any kind of generation when we didn't go to war. We're bombing Venezuela. Excuse me. I don't know, it came out really funky. We're bombing Venezuela right now. And don't believe the hype. It has nothing to do with drugs because most of our drugs come from Mexico and Colombia in the United States. And if it is drugs, there's other areas. Why are we bombing Venezuela? Oil. And we want to overthrow the government there. I tell you, we're a failed state. It's ugh. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, TJ. Look, there's always this thing in America, and you might have it here too, I don't really know, where like when people die that have any kind of real notoriety or presence, they their sins tend to get washed. You know what I mean? Like they don't tend to be completely honest about who the person was when they were alive. And I always thought that was really, really weird. I've seen actually, if not even famous people, like I know people that have done this in my family with people that I've lost. They're trying to act now as if the person didn't have faults. And I'm like, yeah, they were people. It's like everybody else. And I do think that's really, really strange that people can't be honest. Like they think it's respecting them in some way because they're dead, but it's not. You still have to be honest with who they are. But be honest and don't exploit the situation. It's not just that he left a young family behind, and his kids are babies. They're like 1 and 3. They're babies. He left a young wife behind. This is going to be on the internet, as TJ said. His kids are going to see it someday. It's never going to go away once it's on the internet. You can find anything, and now the government, now they have to live through. We have to live through this public situation, right? Which is horrible in their situation as it is. And then you have to have the government, like, using it as a reason to go after, like, using it as a political ploy, like, I would be fuming if I was his wife. I'd be absolutely fuming that they were exploiting my husband's death like this on behalf of my children. I don't know that she isn't. I don't know what the situation is because I'm trying not to follow because it makes me so angry. Yeah, the whole I mean, I never got the appeal to him because he would say things like women don't need to get college degrees, they need to get wedding rings. You know, like, he would just say weird shit like that, and I'm just like, "What, guy?" But, I mean, he has a right to say it, and he has a right to his beliefs, and he shouldn't have lost his life over it. I don't know if that's the reason. I know they caught the shooter. I don't know what the motive was or anything, but, I mean, they shouldn't be used as political clout, that's for sure. Do I know when my ancestors left England? No. I've not done any, like, genealogy or anything. I'm just going by what my parents have told me. My mom said that her heritage is English, Hungarian, and Dutch, and my dad's is Irish and German. I think my great-grandfather was from Ireland, was an immigrant from Ireland, and that's the closest relative that was an immigrant, uh, but I don't know. I haven't done any actual lineage. I don't know if that's all even accurate, to be honest with you. It's just what they told me. No, oh my god, if my daughter was missing, I would lose my fucking mind. I if My whole world stops if she has a cold. So, that's all I'm gonna say. Oh, your dad was in the army band? What did he play? No, I don't know that film, Marja. Is that something that I should watch? I mean, Charlton Heston, other than his politics about guns, I mean, I appreciate his acting abilities, so hi, Glenn. Glenn is a member. Welcome to the live show. How am I getting on? I was thinking about your employment situation over the weekend. If it is any consolation, I had to start my own business because I was unemployable, too argumentative. That's funny. That's a pretty good lead in, actually, into the next segment that I wanted to talk about, which basically was a life update for you all. So, for those of you who aren't members, and for those of you who didn't pick up on any of the clues, I have quit my job officially. Part of the reason was that I had a plan that I probably wasn't going to work a regular 9 to 5 kind of job for a long term, but I had a plan that I was going to do it for a couple years at least and see where we are, kind of get through the immigration process and all that kind of stuff and see where we are in that time frame. Um, but I was having an issue with my manager, and part of it, the reason that you reminded me of it, Glenn, was I was pretty much telling the manager that I wasn't gonna drink the Kool-Aid, that I signed a contract, I was committed, I came in every day, I said my piece when I thought something was wrong or something should be done differently, but I did everything that I was told to do, but I clocked in, did my work, clocked out. I didn't want to participate in any of the extras, and I didn't want to be part of any of the social groups or gatherings, and um, basically, I was told that I might not pass my probation because even though I was doing great at my job, she didn't get the feeling that I actually wanted to be there. And my reaction was, who the hell wants to be at work? Like, who goes to work because they love it? If you're lucky enough to do that, power to you. That's fantastic. And she might be in that position. But basically I was just like, I don't know where I'm going to be in 5 years. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know if I'm going to be in this country in 5 years. You know, my visa's up in a couple of years. I can't think that far ahead. I don't have the luxury of thinking that far ahead. So I'm focused on where I am now, doing the best I can do with where I am. And, you know, whatever happens over the next year, I'm open, but whatever happens, happens. And I basically didn't beg to keep my job, and she didn't beg for me to stay. So I'm on my own. We're doing some things behind the scenes. I am definitely not going to find another regular job at the moment. I hope I never have to again. I'm working on some other stuff. I'm doing some freelance stuff, some other things, trying to work for myself a little bit. And I've done it before in different circumstances in the US. So I know I can do it, and I know I have the skill set, and it's a viable skill set, all that kind of stuff. But I obviously haven't done it in the UK. But I basically was just like, I'm not gonna sit here and have this conversation with you every single time we have a one-to-one and like beg for the job. Like, I can make money doing anything. Okay. I'm not proud. I'll clean toilets. As long as my rent's paid, like, I'm good. I give stuff up. I'm good. So that's where I am at the moment. So the Friday before the 12-hour live stream was my last day. And so I had all of that stuff going on. Plus I was prepping, you know, for my live stream so that we had already had planned to take last week off as a vacation. But so I was prepping everything in case we went out and did something as a family, whatever, during the week. And also I was prepping stuff for the 12-hour live, and I was trying to get the regular stuff done. And it was my last week at a job. So I think that's why I was extra tired. But yeah, I've been last week was a little bit different because the child was at school, but the partner was off, and we were doing some things here and there. But I realized that my daily life didn't really change that much, except I didn't have to commute. I had a little bit more autonomy. I was definitely more comfortable, and definitely more comfortable with the fact that I didn't have to deal with people I didn't want to deal with. Um, and I am really excited about some of the stuff that's coming up. And some of the things that I'm doing behind the scenes. I don't know if they're gonna be fruitful. I think they are. I hope they are. Um, but I am optimistic. Uh, and what really sealed the deal for me that I made the right decision this time was yesterday was a really rough day. It's the first day that I was completely on my own. And the gravity of the decision set in, right? Plus, over the weekend was my father's birthday, and this coming week is my sister's birthday, or this week that we're in. There's one of the days is my sister's birthday, so it's a tough week anyway emotionally. I was getting a little bit of homesick yesterday and missing my niece and nephews, and because I didn't have to go into the office and deal with all that BS, I was able to recognize it, be honest with myself, be honest with my family, and take a step back, right? Take that opportunity to remove myself from the situations that might be volatile, take the time I needed to work through my feelings. And even though I was doing that yesterday, I was still working. I still did some of the stuff that I wanted to get done yesterday. Not everything, but I got a bunch of it done anyway. And I just took the breaks, you know, took a few extra breaks and relaxed where I needed to. And I did today. I woke up at my normal time that I would have, because everyone else in the house wakes up anyway. So there's no point in me trying to sleep. And then I just took my time and I got myself ready, and I got tons of housework done, and I got tons of my work done. And I had my walk, and I had long conversations with my child before and after school, and I was completely prepped and ready for the show and relaxed. And I was just like, yeah, This one is different. This time is different. I'm excited. I feel accomplished. I feel it's such a spectacular feeling when you actually have something that you're excited about before you. And I can't wait. It's been so long, other than our move, it's been so long since I felt this excited about something. And I know it's going to work. May not be exactly what I plan it to be, but I know it's going to work because I believe in it and I believe in myself. And I know that I can make money at doing stuff because I've done it before. I just have to put that effort into it. And now I know I can do it. And I moved to the UK for a brand new life. And I finally feel like I found that final piece of the puzzle that I've been looking for since I moved here. And I feel comfortable in my skin. I feel comfortable with my community. I feel comfortable with the work I'm doing and my family. And yeah, I think that's why I'm in such a good mood. Plus, I'm really well rested. That helps. Well, I do like Clayton. I mean, you prompted that because the argumentative thing. Basically, I became argumentative as well because I was like, I shouldn't have to settle for this. I don't have to settle for this. I've been doing work like this for a really long time. I don't need this job, right? I didn't need that particular job, that manager, that situation. I could make money doing anything. And then the job market sucks. And if I'm going to get into another job, it's probably going to only last a year or so anyway, because AI is probably going to take over. So I might as well try to take the opportunity to create something for myself, just like Lynn did. And I'm really excited. Is it Richard or Neil? I think one of the two. Um, did something similar, right? You retired early because you were unhappy and you started your own thing. The thing I want to do that for myself, but I also want everybody to do it for them. I want everyone to know what this feels like because it's kind of awesome. Totally awesome. Hi, Piper. Welcome. Royal signals do the communication. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I probably could have figured that out if I thought about it for a minute. That makes complete sense. My apologies, Richard. That makes complete sense. That's pretty cool, though. It's really cool. The EDL is the English Defense League, far-right Islamophobic organization active in England from 2009 until mid-late 2010s. Racist started by Tommy 10 names. A load of them got arrested and jailed for CSA. My father and all four of my grandparents were Mexican. I'm American born. I'm in Texas, but in California, it's not legal to stop people for speaking Spanish and looking undocumented. Yeah, that's one of the laws I was talking about. The people don't understand that are being offered, that are being passed in these areas. There are local laws, there's state laws, there's federal laws that are being passed. It's disgusting. And John goes on and says apparently it's hateful to quote Kirk. Yeah, it's basically saying that he said hateful things. Like he was an Islamophobic as well, and an Islamic congressperson went on a podcast and was talking about how they felt for the family and everything like that. But let's not forget what the rhetoric really was about. And we have to make sure that we're fighting with words and that kind of thing. And they want to oust her from her seat. Of all the people to have a counterpoint to his points would be someone who he's basically saying shouldn't be in America, right? She's a congressperson. She's a representative. So she has, that is her platform, right? To have that kind of public speaking on a national stage. So That's where America is. That's what I'm saying. It's a failed state, guys. Your father could still do Morse code on the table? That's incredible. I'd be doing secret, like, messages to my partner all the time. I teach my partner, and I'd be like, "It's time to go. This woman, can't stand her. Get me the hell out of here." I'd be, like, tapping it on the table. Did your father do that? Because 'Cause that'd be really funny. You're airing all of your dirty laundry out today, you guys. Oh, I meant never mind, forget it. It's gone completely downhill. It's so corrupted. I mean, there's corruption in a lot of places. There's corruption here as well, but it is not like what's happening. America is closer to Russia than it is to the UK as far as how it's governing, guys. Like, I'm not kidding. It's closer to that. It's not quite there, but it's never gonna be the same. It's gonna be a completely different country over the next decade or so, in my opinion. Lorena, I don't know if your family is in, the United States or not, but I hope everyone's just being as safe as possible, and I mean, it's just a madhouse right now. If you're of any kind of Latin or South American descent, it is not safe. How do you get away with it? I wasn't even saying that I didn't wanna work there, TJ. I was just saying, like, I'm not I don't care about exposure, and I don't care about taking on all these big projects so that, I can make a name for myself in the company. Like, my focus was on doing the job that I was hired to do and learning about the company and the ins and outs and the dynamics of my department and that kind of stuff. Like, that I'd only been there 6 months. Like, within 2 weeks, she was telling me that I should be aspiring to be, like, on the corporate level in France. I just started this job. I don't even know who works in France. It was an insane experience, a very insane experience. I should write about it or something because it was crazy. Mandy says, "I really hope that America wakes up and smells the proverbial coffee before it's way too late to turn back." I think we've already passed the point of no return. In all fairness, Manny, I really do. I think it's gonna get really bad, and then it's gonna turn back in hopefully to the original ideals. But it's gonna go through a really rough patch. I think we're in the middle of the rough patch. Richard says, on a happier note, Little is going to have ready to bake pretzels in the frozen section. Love pretzels. Question: with salt or without? Very important question. People need to stop emailing me. People need to stop emailing me because I am live. The trombone! Oh, that's cool. I learned how to play the trombone. Wasn't very good at it at all. Because you have to like purse your lips a certain way and stuff, like the trumpet. It's hard. Chocolate muffins. That's how you get through the news? That's a pretty good one. I have been eating a lot of chocolate lately, getting through all of the stress, but oh, thank you. Congratulations on taking control of your working life. It's hard. I've been self-employed for a while, but it's been great. Good luck. Thank you. I hope so. Oh, my thing is that I'll never know unless I try, right? And the last time, the reason I went back to working a regular job was because uh there's just some family dynamic stuff. And the job that I was doing was changing, and I wasn't comfortable with the change. Like, I didn't know if I had the skill set for it or anything. I think I just got a little scared, and I just went back to what I knew. And the company that I'd left on good terms, so I knew they would hire me back pretty quickly, which they did. And then they ended up promoting me really quickly too. So, and that is incidentally, that was a job that I was doing until we left America, and I ended up being able to work from home and all kinds of good perks from. So it ended up working out for me at the time. It was the right decision to go back, but I don't want to have to do that again because I don't have I don't have that cushion now. Especially since I tried to sneak out of the office on my last day without saying goodbye to the manager. So I didn't care. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. Thank you, Glenn. Well, it's working out well, but it's only been like 2 weeks, so let's hope it stands. Thank you, TJ. Oh, you guys are making me want chocolate muffins. You just said I have to watch my sugar levels. Yeah, I know, I'm getting to that point as well, and I've been eating a lot of sugar. I have to watch. This is why I can't lose any more weight, because I keep eating all this chocolate and stuff. So you and your dairy milks here. The best thing is to be number one in a field of one. That's the weirdest part, right? Is that I'm so used to having someone to answer to and having a schedule. And last week, when my partner was off, I like in the beginning of the week, I was like, listen, because of the 12-hour live and everything and getting ready for that, I didn't really get to prep as much as I wanted to for this week. So I might need to like take a couple hours and go do some work, in order to get some stuff out for you guys. And he was like, oh yeah, it's fine, no problem. And then I found myself like an hour here, 20 minutes there. In the car ride, I was answering comments. You know what I mean? I was just like, actually, this is the exact life I wanted, right? Like this is what I wanted to be able to do, to have this like freedom and have this, this ability to just kind of do it when I'm ready and do it when I'm in the right mindset and all that kind of stuff. And then I started to worry, oh, what's going to happen next week when I don't have like him holding me accountable for it, right? And I was worried that I would fall into really bad patterns, but I haven't been. Especially yesterday, which was the hardest day that I've had in a long time here. And I still like pumped out a bunch of videos and stuff. So, I mean, it just is going to be, I think it's going to be okay. I don't know if it's going to be as much money as I was making, but I know the minimum I have to make, and I'm pretty confident. So I do like the fact that I don't have to answer anyone, I don't have to talk to anybody. I could just do what I want to do. That is an amazing feeling. It's an incredible feeling. I haven't had it in so long. I know, Roy. I'm with you, Roy. I'm in hungry too. John, I don't want to. I'm reading your comments, kind of skimming your comments. With your conversation amongst each other. Sorry. John says, last place I worked 27 years, at the interview, within 10 minutes, we were having an argument and they hired you. Interesting. That's really interesting. These guys could argue for Europe. We didn't have any team nonsense. My biggest thing was, and I'm not judging anybody for this because I was like this for a really long time when I first started my career. My biggest thing was people who having to pretend to be somebody different in order to like be respectful and be considered, a team player and that kind of stuff. Like I felt myself, especially in this last position, I felt myself falling it back into patterns and being complacent about things. And so I would purposely like make myself argue almost because I didn't I still believed in it, but I might not have always spoke up, right? So, but I found myself like almost forcing myself to speak up because I didn't want to become that old person again. Because I'm like, no, 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 no. I've spent, the better half of a decade basically, well before we decided to move, that I wasn't going to be that person anymore because I had the opportunity not to be, and that I didn't want to work that way anymore. And I felt myself like falling back. So I was like, no, 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 no. And I think that might have been one of the reasons why I didn't just lie and be like, "Oh yeah, sure, I want to be, exposed, and I want to be exposed. I want to know everybody, and I want to learn everything." And because I didn't, and I'm like, I don't want to lie anymore. I don't think you should have to debase yourself or change yourself in order to make money. Like, I'd like to take this concept of work back. That work has to be this humdrum thing that you're forced into. I mean, that is work, right? It's never going to be lovely days all the time. And not everybody can do things that they're uber excited about or creatives or anything, right? Like sometimes people are accountants and they're better at numbers and that's their thing and that's what they got to do. And I get that. And there are people that are sheep. Like, and again, I don't mean it insulting, but there are people that just need the structure, need the schedule, need someone else telling them what to do. So there's nothing wrong with that either. And there are people who are good at delegating and leading and that kind of stuff. And that's where their niche is. I don't like the box that we're all forced to be in nowadays. I think it's dumb. It's antiquated, first of all, because it's the 21st century and we carry around computers in our pockets. So why do I have to go into an office at certain times, have break times at certain times, wear certain clothes, talk to the people you want me to talk to, and drink the Kool-Aid? That's so 1987, guys. Let's move along. Oh, Lorena's talking about key lime pie. Love it. Key lime pie and lemon meringue. Ooh, pecan pie. Love pecan pie. Mm. I'm not a big fan of red velvet cake, to be honest, which is weird because I like chocolate cake. But oh, they're German style. They might not have salt on them. I'm definitely gonna have to go to Little now. See? Hey, Disco, you made it. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks. Hope everything's good. Oh, Richard, yeah. Insulin sucks. I had a sugar issue when I was pregnant and I had to take my blood and like track my sugar and everything for my doctor and it was freaking hell. And I was worried that I was gonna have end up being diagnosed with diabetes after she was born. Thankfully I wasn't, but I'm nervous about sugar now ever since. Yeah, we're talking about food, Disco. That's pretty much what we always land on. Have I had a pepper pot? No, what the hell's a pepper pot? Oh, you're asking Manny. Okay, tell me what is a pepper pot? Richard says, when I left my job, I copied the start of the 60 series, The Prisoner, even hiring the same car. I don't know what that is, but that's funny that you did that. I'm with you, TJ. Like nobody, it's okay. Like I also, if you're in it, if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna work the 9 to 5 because I need the money and it's the means to the end, and I don't have the energy or the time or the inclination to do something for it. That's cool too. That's fine. I have no problem with that either. Like if that's your choice, I just feel like you should have a choice. And your freedom shouldn't end because you signed a contract. Like your company doesn't own you just because you decided that you would trade your time for the money that they're going to give you. That doesn't mean they own you. They don't own my thoughts. It's basically like they were trying to control my mindset. And I was like, F off. No, I'm allowed to think whatever I want to think. And if you're not going to hire me, even though I'm doing the job above the expectations that you had, which you admitted to me in front of an HR person, then what difference does it make? I'm still here every day doing the job. I mean, you could have had me for another year or two at least, but you had to play up, and now look. Now look where you're at. And I found out my last week as well that that position had been vacant for a while. They were having trouble filling it, so good luck. Biscuits and raisins disco. Whoa, raisins are terrible. Oh, the prisoner, I'm not a number. I'm a free man. I got you. I got you. Well, actually, TJ, you're old enough. I mean, I'm retired. I'm doing something completely different, and I hope I never have to go back to that ever again. Honestly, I don't think I will. I think I would work like 3 part-time jobs before I would go back to like a regular office 9 to 5 job, in all fairness. I mean, we'll see what happens. I might change my mindset in a year and be like, this is not for me, but I don't see it. I'm with you, Disco. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, right? And the jobs need to be done. That's why they're there. That's why they're hiring and paying for those jobs. So I don't have a problem with that. I didn't have a problem. I would have done it, like I said, for a couple of years at least. Um, but she if it just felt like she wanted control of my mind and everything, and I was just like, this is a big red flag. There were a bunch of red flags anyway, so I was already like, "Ugh." That'll be a good thumbnail. Mhm. All right, I do have something else that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if we're gonna have time to do this. Although I don't have to work tomorrow, but I know you guys probably do. All right, let me do this announcement really quick. I wanted to tell you guys about something. So, quick little break here, just to let you know about something brand new that we're doing. You know, we used to do free for all Fridays where we would do like random reacts to British culture and stuff like that. Well, we've changed it up a little bit, and we're now launching a members only podcast on Fridays instead. It's going to be called Mind the Culture Gap, y'all. If you guys saw the some of the merch that we have, we're tying into that. It's going to be light, it's going to be fun, and it's exclusive to members. I'll share reactions to British and American cultural staples. Just ask Disco to suggest anything. He's given me about 100 things to react to. Um, uh, uh, Old sitcoms, comedy specials, my reaction to Americans reacting or Americans' takes on stuff, modern takes from other YouTubers from both sides of the pond, whatever it is that you guys want to see me react to, basically. And you can make any suggestions that you want. You can leave them in comments. You can send me an email at hicksondiaries@gmail.com. Or, you just mention them in the chat or send me an email with the link. That would probably be the easiest way. But just because I always have random notes and then sometimes I forget. But you have to join. You have to be a member of the Everyday Heroes Club. We've changed the name of that as well. But if you do join, you're not just getting the podcast. You're also unlocking behind the scenes content that you don't get to see anywhere else. You get first looks at new projects and events. You get to priority replies on all your comments on the videos. You get discounts on our merch at our website at hicksondiaries.com. And you also get the chance to shape what we create and what we're doing by participating in feedback and stuff before anything gets launched, before anyone else even knows about it. So just consider being a member if you're not already. Membership is £2.99 a month. I said it the British way. Are you proud of me? And the best part is that every month, a pound of your membership fee goes directly into our fundraiser for the Royal British Legion, which helps to support veterans and their families. And in my eyes, it's the epitome of heroism and sacrifice. So it's always great that we can give back like that. If that sounds like something that you'd be interested in being a part of, we'd love to have you. All you got to do is hit that join button below. Or if you prefer, you can hit the scan here to join really quickly on your phone. And yeah, become a part of our amazing Everyday Heroes community. I'd love to have you. And if there's any other perks that you think would be cool or anything else you want to see or watch us do, just you can email me at hicksondiaries@gmail.com and let me know. I am really excited to launch this week's all suggestions that you guys made. I think most of them were during the 12-hour live chat that we didn't get to. So there's basically going to be like 5 or 6 reactions at a time, and just talking about some cultural stuff. So yeah, if you guys are interested, that'd be great. I would love to have you. If you can't, I understand. Sometimes money's tight. I get it. So no big deal. But if you can do it, we'd appreciate it. Trying to find out where I left him, please. It's just like it's another thumbnail. Crazy, crazy Andy. And I hit notes instead. Nice. Jalapeno grills. I would think that your mouth is in flames because jalapenos are pretty spicy. My sister used to eat them, like eat the actual pepper. Is that what a pepper pot is? Oh, thank you, Manny. I hope you enjoy it. Oh my god, I've had wasabi peas. They are spicy. Garibaldi biscuits. I don't know what they are, but lemon puffs. Are they sell spicy stuff, you guys? Oh, you know what we should do? Because I just love challenging myself. Let's do this. Let's do this. You know what? I might want to think it through before I commit. I would do that and get myself in trouble. But now I'm going to think about something, some kind of challenge with the memberships. You guys got my mind thinking. Oh, thank you, Diane. Appreciate that. Bombay mix. Co-fresh? This is what you guys are talking about? They're apparently they do a Bombay mix, hot fig rolls. I don't really like fig that much. Diane says we're all food obsessed. We are all food obsessed. Oh, would you guys like to see me cook? I was thinking about doing that every once in a while. Perhaps on the podcast or perhaps as like a behind the scenes thing. I don't really cook. Would you like to see my style of cooking? Or just throw stuff in a pan? No, I was thinking maybe of cooking, like trying to cook Yorkshires from scratch again and like live streaming it or something like that one night instead of just sitting here talking all the time. Trying to change it up a little bit, something like that. You guys interested in that? Or if you have another suggestion, maybe like a on location. I think we talked about that once or twice before, doing like an on location live every once in a while or something along those lines. That'd be kind of fun. I'm just like, I feel like you guys might get bored with just seeing this exact setting all the time. Or maybe I'm worried about me getting bored because I'll be literally sitting in this room for like many hours a day. Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations, Marcia. Chorley cakes. I don't know what that is. Eccles cakes? What are the ones that, I forget it, I forgot the tagline. Oh, forget it, I've lost my train of thought. Lorena says, "I eat jalapenos and serranos fresh, so those jalapeno grills sound interesting." Do you grow them or you just buy them? It's a food night at Mandy's. That was another thing I was thinking of, and again, I always bring this up to you guys on the live because, you guys are my peeps, and, I don't know, I don't know. I bring it up to you guys because it's an actual conversation, and I get some feedback immediately, and I'm an impatient person, I guess. Yeah, I am an impatient person. I don't guess, I know I'm an impatient person, and that's probably why I always bring it up on the live feed. Of doing if you guys would ever be interested at some point down the line, maybe doing like a in-person meetup or like a Google Hangout type of meetup every once in a while too. Put some names to faces and just have an open dialogue instead of a chat dialogue. I have all these ideas. Just need to know if you guys care. Because there's no point in putting all the effort in it if you don't care, right? If you'd be like, I don't really want to show my face, or I don't really want to do a meetup, then, cross it off on my list. I don't like knickknacks. Someone made me try them that I worked with once when I first moved here, and, because they were raving about them, and I was like, they're really bland, actually." Am I gonna sing the theme? We'll have to write the theme tune and play all the instruments, right? Remember that kid on, was it Little Britain? Write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, play the part. Something like that he did. I think I am disco. You know what it is? I enjoy this kind of thing, right? But when you find a connection, especially with a YouTuber, because it's not always intimate, like it's not always live like this, right? So I think that if you find a connection with someone and then you see them outside of their comfort zone, I think it's really hilarious. Although this entire channel is basically me outside my comfort zone, so maybe it wouldn't make any sense. Uh, oh, Lorena's up for the cooking. I was watching someone talk about making Christmas cakes. I used to make cakes actually. Well, I didn't really care about making the actual cake. It was more about decorating the cakes. I used to do it all the time for my daughter's birthdays and stuff when she was younger. And like with the fondant and all that stuff. So maybe I'll find some old pictures and see if I can find some old pictures and post them for you guys. But I was thinking of maybe doing something like that as well, like because Christmas is coming, right? So maybe trying to make it like a traditional British Christmas cake and then making like a we don't really have cakes really for Christmas. Maybe making like an apple pie or something like that. That's like very American. Uh Disco says Mandy cooks a cottage pie. Could be. Don't worry about it, Disco. Go do what you gotta do. Thank you. Oh, Lorena says she'd like a virtual meetup. Oh, we got one person. Manny says, let's see how it works on Zoom. Yeah, like maybe you guys don't want to see me do like a big show on stage. Do you know like those people that go around and do like live shows and stuff? I know a bunch of podcasters in America do stuff like that and streamers and stuff. I always thought that was kind of weird to do it live. Like, I suppose, if you get a big enough following, there would, I don't know. I don't know that I'd ever do something like that, but I would definitely like I think a virtual meetup might be cool. And it wouldn't even have like a virtual meetup, we wouldn't even have to like stream it or anything like that. I just thought it might be kind of fun to just get to know each other a little bit better, you know, in an informal setting or whatever. There's a professional extra hot pepper grower named John Curry. Do you think he got into that profession because of his name? Salsa and mesquite kettle chips. Ooh. Here in the UK? Guess have lots of crisp flavors here. Bye, TJ. Thank you so much. Manny can cook curry. I can't cook curry. Maybe if it's in a jar, I could throw it in the pan. Have I tried stir frying? Yes, I actually do stir fry. I just did a stir fry last week, actually, a chicken one on my own. It was really good. I loved it. Hi, Alex. Glad to have you here. It's good to see you again. Thank you. Manny would be up for an informal meetup. Manny! All right, you guys, I'm going to end it there because it has been 90 minutes and I do have to work in the morning. My boss is a pill, so, gotta go. No, I just don't want to, Richard, I'm sure you're not too scary. Please look at me. It's a lot of makeup and good lighting though. Yeah, stir fry is definitely all prep work. There's a few things like that. They're just all prep and you just throw them in the pan. It's fantastic. Those are my favorites because I can prep while I'm watching TV or listening to a podcast and then throw them in the pan and I'm done. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed the show today. Thank you so much for coming and joining with me, taking time out of your day. Yeah, don't forget to check out the all of the perks that you get for joining. If you can, hit that join button below or scan the barcodes that is in the community. I'll put it out there again. I had a blast as always. I hope you guys had fun too. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. That helps with the YouTube gods. And yeah, everybody have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe. Lorena, our thoughts are with you, and please reach out if you need anything. I'll see you in the next show because, it only gets better when you're there, guys. Take care, y'all. Bye. Remove.